All pretty straightforward stuff. All right. So this is the dummy repo. We're just going to let that keep building. Let's go back over here and see our task list. Where did that go? Tasks. Okay, let's take a look at what it came up with for tasks here. Set up the database connection layer. Okay. Implement product repository. Right here. That's useful. Implement order repository. Stripe payment processing. If you all haven't done Stripe payment processing before, make sure to set up a staging, like a sandbox environment in Stripe, and use that for your development. So you can just do whatever you want. You won't mess up a live Stripe account with a bunch of broken test calls. And then let's see your payment routes. So it's got a bunch of stuff for Stripe, webhook integration. So in my prompt, I said to use webhooks instead of setting up a full email management system inside the store. This way, when an order is placed, it can just send it to a webhook, and you can use something like Brevo or High Level or Zapier or N8N. Those are just some examples to catch that webhook and send the customer their order email, notify you that an order was placed that you need to fulfill, things like that. It's a lot quicker to use a webhook to do that than it is to build out all of those features inside the back end of a store. You don't have to build those. Just use a webhook, because this is supposed to be a very simple, clean e-commerce setup that does not need a huge, overwhelming build. So that's the webhook purpose. It went ahead and did an email notification. I think we're going to skip this task when we go to build, because we'll use the webhook for everything. And then error handling and monitoring. Once you get it built, you'll do those. Security enhancements. A lot of times during the build, it's going to put a lot of this stuff in as it builds. That's just common practice that the AI is going to use. So a lot of those pieces are going to be in place already, and you'll just run this task to check them. We have a pretty good set of to-dos here. Let's go ahead and open a new conversation and run these first tasks. And now it's going to start this connection here to the database. And that's why I supplied the database immediately, so that we would have that already set up and ready to go. Okay. So now we have our framework built out for this store. It does look like we're going to have to do this over a couple calls. We'll get it built out together. And if you follow along, or if you watch this all on the YouTube later, when we break it up into little pieces and put it out there, at the end, you'll be able to have a fully functional store. So we're going to do that as an adventure together here. While we have 10 minutes left, what are some questions you have in general about using AI for this, or what tools have you been playing with that you want to tell me about? Tony, you had mentioned at the beginning, before a lot of people got here, that you were playing with this application. And you said in your experience, it tended to lean towards websites in particular, rather than maybe some other types of applications that you would see in Replit or something like that. Should we tell it a simple prompt and just see how that builds out, everyone? Just kind of see what a new AI tool builds for everyone. Cloning a site. Yeah. We can tell it to clone a site. This feature right here. That's pretty cool. Let's clone Fiverr. That's a bit of a complex one that will cause a tool to choke potentially. And I like to put them under pressure. So we're going to say Fiverr, and it's going to make me sign in, which is fine. Can always go disconnect it later. They're using Clerk Auth. This is one that I recommend quite often. This is an excellent Auth platform if you're not using something like Supabase that has Auth built in. This is a standalone Auth platform that works with almost anything. They have, I believe it is 10,000 active users for free, and then you upgrade the plan from there. And it just does a really good job of authentication. It can take a little bit to set up, but they have a really nice integration documentation set. So you can basically give these examples to your build tool and have it build it out. In fact, you can copy the prompt here or paste it in here so we can see it. And it tells your application, like whatever tool you're using, how to integrate Clerk Auth with your system. So they kind of have a prompt built in for use. So it's pretty cool. Take a look over here. Website cloned. Sierra, you asked there in the chat, how does Clerk compare with Auth 0 or Stitch? I haven't done a side-by-side comparison on how easy they are to implement and how well they perform. Lately, I've done Auth with either Supabase or just straight up build it from scratch and handle it in a Postgres database, or deploy it with Clerk. And those are kind of the three I've done a lot recently for most applications. I haven't tried the other two and to compare them. I think I worked on a project last month for someone that used Auth 0, but I didn't set it up. I just debugged it, and the debug was pretty easy. Okay, so it is cloning this website. It has basically taken a picture of it here, a screenshot. A little tool for this, if you don't have a good screenshot tool and you're using the ones on that just come built with your computer, I highly recommend using Awesome Screenshot. It can take a screenshot of a full page, and then you can give that to your AI building tool for the sake of giving it documentation or for the sake of giving it style guidelines. If you are building maybe a supplemental app for your business and you say, hey, I want to give it my business's look and feel so that the supplemental app looks like my business, just take a screenshot of your website and include it with your initial prompt. It's a great tool for that. Highly recommend. Let's see what this has built. So it's designed it. Here we go. Getting all of our files written out. Fiverr Pro, logo maker. It's copying all that stuff over. This is going to be interesting to see how well it clones the site. We'll hop back over here to our simple ecom. Run this command. See what it's installing. Let that install for us here. And here is that looks like it's trying to show up. Export TikTok does not exist in the module. Looks like it's still working on it though. You'll see these errors pop up until it connects everything up. So this used Next.js 15. The app that we built, the little store that we built over here, used Next.js 14. Which is very interesting to me because V0 is a tool made by Vercel, which is the company that maintains Next.js. Like they are the ones who created and maintain the public repo of Next.js. And their tool does not use the latest version. I've seen a lot of issues with TurboPack. It just hasn't been as stable. So pretty much any Next.js build I do is also in version 14. But it's interesting to me that Vercel is using 14, and then Orchids is using 15, which seems to be less stable right now. So Next.js observation for you there. More info than you probably wanted. This is what it's built out for us on the back end here. Let's go back over to our build, simple ecom build. It's continuing on with the tasks. Let's see how far it says it's created this task, and it's doing this one here, creating our product repo. We have about a minute and a half left before we get to the end of today's adventure. Do you think it's going to get done before we're out of time? What's the over under on that? It's not moving super fast, I would say. Oh, look what we have here. It's starting to come together. There is our Fiverr clone. This is something I've seen a lot of these tools do. When they put in a video placeholder, they rickroll you. They'll put in a cover photo that you wouldn't expect, and then you click it and it's Rick Astley singing Never Gonna Give You Up. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so here we are. Look at that. Orchids is done. And then here's how you ask it to make changes or edits. I have to play around with this and see what type of features we have for new context windows and things like that. But it didn't do a terrible job here. We're grabbing a Fiverr site and making a clone. Images are pretty commonly missing because you have to set up image storage unless it's going to pull through images like this where it pulls through a link from somewhere. Or it might have actually created these itself. Yeah, it might have. All right. Well, that is a cool tool. Thanks for sharing, Tony. Any questions before I let you all get back to your days?
I got one. What?
Yes.
Like Kiro.
So far, it came out yesterday and I've been using it today, which is what we have going on here. This is Kiro here. And it has really cool task building features. Oh, this is interesting. I haven't seen this error implementing task. So it ran into an issue. Looks to me like it ran out of context or Claude had an error here. So far, it seems pretty solid. It has some cool ideas. Implementation of those ideas is clearly has some bugginess here, but it seems pretty solid. And their proposed pricing structure is not off base from a lot of other apps in the market that are similar. So I don't expect it to be a huge shift in usage once they roll out pricing. Right now it's free. So if you want to try it out, use it for free because that's an inexpensive way to get access to 3.7 and 4.0 for building. We'll see if they work out the bugs. I saw another bug earlier today that it would error out here in the chat and not recover. And when you gave it a command to basically recover or pick up where you left off, it just got stuck in an error loop. You had to copy over into a new chat and continue on. Hopefully they fix that error a little bit. All right. Next session, we'll probably continue building this store out, make a little series of it. And you're going to get to see a lot of really cool stuff, such as setting up payment, which screws up a lot of builds. We're going to see how product editing works, being able to go in and type in product information is something that, or any information in the back end of a website is something that a lot of these builders struggle to build. And it takes a lot of debugging. We'll get to see some adventures there as well. Hop back on next week for more e-commerce store build adventures. And I will see you all soon. Cheers. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and follow. And if you need help building or finishing your app, click the link in my bio to book a one-on-one Zoom call to take a look at your project.